Hi, I'm Rachel Bulman.
Hi, I'm Jason Bulman.
And we're the Bulmans. Thanks so much for coming back to our home this week. It's still not fully clean. We've said that in the past. We have little sleep right now.
This part's clean.
This part's clean, just this area right here. But a lot has happened this week. It's been a very good week.
It has.
In some ways, but we also massively failed this week, and we wanted to tell you about it. Because what better way to really get to know the Bulmans? We had our first adventure.
We did.
We took a small excursion.
Yeah.
Where did we go, buddy?
We went to Epcot. Here's the irony of going to Disney World as a parent. So you do all this preparation on the front end, like, you know, to bring your bag, to bring diapers, to bring everything that you need. But then when you get to Disney World, you have to just let it all go. You just have to let it all go. All your plans, just let them go, because the more free you are,
right?
The more you just act like a child and have fun, actually the better time you're gonna have, and the less frustrated you'll get too. And yeah, I think that's where we failed.
It's true. It was so not great. The other thing too is Jason doesn't learn that when I go to Disney World, I am there all day long. It doesn't matter if I'm gonna go back the next day.
Yeah, there's a kind of timelessness that's at Disney, I admit, but prudence is also a virtue
right.
that...
I just said that on camera that you're right. You can keep that forever.
That'll be a real one. But the only caveat to Epcot is when it gets towards the evening, you know, the crowd kind of changes a little bit.
And it's Food and Wine Festival, which kind of attracts people that want to drink around the world. There's 11 countries in the international part, and each country has themed food and drinks. And so a lot of people will come there to be able to taste the fare and the drinks, and they'll just make their way around the world. But things can get a little bit debaucherous. Is that a word? Is that a word? Is
no.
Debaucherous?
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Somebody look that up. And then things get out of hand. So
people are just having a good time. That's all. But so yeah. We did a lot of preparation, as you can imagine, because we, for the first time as a family of 8, decided to take on Disney World. And
even when there was 4 children, there was a lot of preparation, you know. And then we had actually just gotten to the place where there was no diaper bag, when you could just kind of walk in. And
that was amazing.
It was amazing. Gone are the days. But then now with not just one baby, but with 2 babies, and the fact that we have to bring the formula, we're bringing diapers, I'm bringing extra changes of clothing, and...
Well, in full disclosure too, neither Rachel nor I are the type A kind of person who plans very well. We like spontaneity.
Don't tell the world that. Way to go.
I mean, it's true. But, I mean, we've had to learn, obviously, with this many kids, you know, to prepare. So I think...
We're still learning that.
This go around, we did good at preparing like things to bring with us.
And as you know, not only did we have all this preparation for that, but I was also getting over the last time when I told you that I had been sick. So there was just a lot going on. And
there was.
The other thing that needs to happen is, like, you need to have some mental preparation. You know, what is our plan when we get there tomorrow?
That was it.
What do we need to do when we get there tomorrow? Where are we going to head? What part of the park? What's our plan? What time are we leaving? Not only like mentally checking off the list of like, hey, this is the time, not tactics, but you also need to make some do some spiritual fortress building at this point. You know, St. Ignatius of Loyola said that when you know that something is coming, you can use the time before you know that something is coming to look at your fortress and prepare it for like weather or the enemy to come on. And Disney World is the perfect time for your enemy to attack your fortress. So we get to Epcot. It's fine at first. The kids really wanted to go, and they actually didn't want to ride rides at first because of the timing. We got there right at lunch.
Yeah, we were all hungry.
Yeah, so it was like, we want to have pizza in Italy and ice cream in France. So it takes a long time to walk into Epcot right now. They're doing a lot of construction, and you walk in and it takes forever to get, I mean, it felt like maybe I had hopped a plane to get to Italy because it took so long to get over there and to get everything. And so things just started to slowly crumble. This is like a slow chip away because we're in line and the crowd is starting to change a little bit. And there's not a lot of kids around at this point for some reason. And Gabriel goes, wow, everyone, that group of people over there are a little out of hand, Mom. Like, they're not saying nice things. I was like, oh, buddy, it's okay. Like, let's just talk and you can ignore all that. Mm-hmm. And then we went over to get the ice cream. And I think the ice cream was the turning point.
I don't even remember.
He's literally blocked it out of his mind. He's tried to erase
Okay, yes.
the memory.
Okay, I remember now. Yeah, okay. So here's what we didn't think about. When you have 4 kids that are, 4 and older, and then you got the 2 babies, one of us has to go with the 4, and one of us has to handle the 2 infants alone.
Right.
And so when you took the older kids to go get ice cream, which, you got to have ice cream when you're at Disney, that's when the babies decided to get really upset.
They knew. I think that they felt their father's discomfort.
Probably did.
And just said, obviously it's party time. We're going to just go nuts right now for our dad.
Well, and it was blazing hot, so they needed diaper changes, and they were probably hungry, and
it's like all the things at one time. And so I come back out. And you know how it is when there's someone that you love and you care about, and that you can tell that they're uncomfortable. You are trying to do everything that you can to help them.
Sure.
But sometimes it just doesn't, if you're outside of yourself or you're thinking about your own needs, it's hard to kind of meet each other. And sometimes that happens to us. We don't like openly fight or anything, but Jason or I will close in, and like the other person's trying to help, and it's like, no,
you're like,
I'm fine.
You're frustrated that you're frustrated.
You are at Disney World. This is the happiest place on earth.
I told myself I would not get frustrated, and I'm frustrated. Leave me alone.
So we're sitting there when we came back with the ice cream, and you feel like it felt like everyone was staring at us, It felt like everybody was giving us these death glares, like your twins are being loud. Why would you bring all those kids here? You might even be watching this and being like, you should not have taken 6 kids to Epcot. Listen, okay, we're going back. So, I mean, they're ours forever. So.
Well, I mean, you've taken 4 by yourself, so I figured, hey, 6 with the 2 of us, we got this.
We got this. But what we realized later, after all of this, was that we didn't do the spiritual prep well enough the night before, and even on our way there that morning.
Yeah.
And it really didn't even have to be us talking to each other about a spiritual preparation, but Jason doing his own interior preparation and me doing my own interior preparation. Disney World, for me, I did a virtual talk one time, and someone asked me, where's the place where you feel the most free other than the mass or other than like something religious? And I said, Disney World, because it's this place where I am drawn out of myself to be there for the kids and do something that's outside of myself. So when I take the 4 of them by myself, I literally do what he said earlier and just go, hey, whatever happens, happens. We're just going to have a yes day, which don't tell your kids that. That's a bad idea. Yeah. But we're just going to go with the flow and have a great time. And I'm going to try to be completely carefree with them. And when it's that way, it's easier. Yeah.
It makes me think of humility, because humility comes from humus, which means earth. And I heard it once said, humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. So Disney's that perfect opportunity to go with a family and to be sort of, like you said, drawn out of your own, selfishness and to just finally have some joy. And the moment that you feel threatened, the moment that you feel judged, the moment
that your gaze is taken away from looking at other people, looking outward, looking towards God, and you turn it towards yourself.
Yep. That's when
you've written your ticket. So you've already said this day is going to go awry. And so that after that, when things started to go awry, we found ourselves trying to please the kids. Like, kids really wanted to ride Test Track. We get there and Jason's trying to get me settled, and I realized that we need another diaper change. So we need to head to the bathroom. By this point, it's raining. And I'm thinking, like, I really don't want it to rain on the babies. And it just felt like everything was falling apart. But looking back at it now, I'm like, it was just a little rain. It wasn't even raining that hard, to be honest. And it was just a diaper. And it was just a few minutes. It was really just my own reaction to the situation that made it fall apart.
Yeah, and so that's part of what I was getting at too with humility coming from humus, which means grounded. So you're like actually like grounded in reality, But when you turn in on yourself, that's when fantasy starts to happen, and all these minor things like a little bit of rain or people maybe or maybe not talking bad about you become this big ordeal.
Right.
And then you lose yourself, and then it ruins your time, and that's no fun.
The beauty of it all is this, that we failed, but we're gonna learn from that. We're both hoping that we get to go back with all 6 of them, that they're not now all scarred for life.
We're gonna redeem it.
We're gonna redeem that adventure with the 6 kids. And in addition to that, it would be good to think about not only when you fail, looking at that situation, but also thinking about the places where you can redeem that. Maybe there's something that is painful and you don't want to do that again because you're scared of that happening again. There was one time that I used to take the kids to daily mass. I would take, and Gabriel was probably only 4, Jeremiah might have been 3, and Abigail was just walking. Not Abigail, Gemma. And we had a really bad experience. The gentleman waited for me after Mass to berate me and tell me that the kids should never go to Mass, and that they can't sit still, and that Mass is no place for children. And this went on for quite a bit. And when I left Mass that day, I took the kids out to the grotto, because we would always go out there just for them to kind of have a few minutes and just be with the Blessed Mother. And I cried, like sobbing, because I felt like a bad mom, because I had allowed someone to dictate, and I turned in on myself in that moment. And I haven't been back to daily mass with the kids since then, which is extremely sad when you think about it. That moment was so scarring for me that I worry that there is going to be another begrudging person that's going to make me feel like I'm a bad mom. But the truth is that I should have met him with charity. And I think we had an exchange, and I was charitable in the exchange, but when I left to go outside, I crumbled beneath the weight of whatever pain he carried. And the truth is that if you judge people, and this is from Saint Teresa of Calcutta, if you judge people, you have no time to love them. And I failed massively at that. Not just then with daily mass, but I think we failed massively at it at Disney World, because when there were stares, we were talking about later, we said maybe they were staring because Benedict has an insane amount of hair. Maybe they were staring because our kids are so good looking, and just trying to say, maybe we were wrong. And really saying maybe we were wrong, hopefully, is the beginning of humility and being grounded again.
Mm-hmm. I think those places where we're most sensitive or that we feel the most insecure about are precisely the avenues for our sanctity. They're precisely the way that God is calling you to be a saint and to live, a life of holiness and virtue. So think of those areas as an opportunity, not as a weak spot, but as the way in which you can grow.
St. Augustine said that I look into my deepest wounds and I see your glory and it dazzles me. So pray for us. We're praying for you. Pray for our next trip to Disney World. God bless you.
God bless.